What's doing, YouTube people? Jimmy C. Just checking in with you guys. Let's start it off. I just want to thank Symphonic Elk. He had a great contest. Everybody wins, so you really can't beat that. He gave me Star Slayer 2. That's actually the first appearance of the Rocketeer. I didn't realize it at first, and then one day I was staring at it, and I'm like, oh my god, he sent me a pretty cool book. And he also gave me this, New Avengers #1. Now, I actually needed this because I have a page of artwork from this, and I like to get a copy of each comic. I like to get a 9.8, but that's not his problem. It is VF plus, near mint minus, but either way, thank him, Symphonic Elf, great guy. You guys check him out. Here's the page, the splash page I got from this issue. It's Electro. He's just put on his mask, and he's agreeing to do the deal to go and short the raft, which lets all the villains escape. And I believe that was the diversion that kicked off the, the Skrulls when they were secret invasion. So it's a funny thing. I actually met David Finch at Comic-Con one year, and I told him I owned it. I showed him. I said, "Oh, I love your piece, yada yada." And he said Marvel actually had him drawing Electro, Max Dillon, without the mask on in this panel or splash. And he fought them, and he says, no way am I drawing this guy without his mask. It's like iconic, and that makes him Electro. If it was just, Max Dillon with his Brillo hair, a la Osborne, it wouldn't have the same effect. So I'm glad he fought the editor and he won. And, moving on. So I went to East Coast Comic Con. I went on Friday and Sunday. My friend John hooks me up. I get in easily. I didn't really do any buying. I was just there to hang out. I got some autographs. I was just adding to my Spidey page. It's like Erod says, it's like fun to have something. It's fun to have like a side quest, aside from hunting for books and getting autographs and, getting sketches or whatever you do or getting books slabbed. So this is my like long-term just like side project. I do this when like I've done everything else or I don't know what I want to do and I'm bored and I just go around. So there was a lot of guys there. So I got Barry, I got Kitson. I got, at this show, I got, what's his name? The Spider-Man artist. I'm drawing a blank. I got Jeff Johnson, not the YouTuber, the artist. I got, who else did I get this last show? I got, so I got those two. Oh, I got Al Williams. He's the inker from Web of Spider-Man. So I posted this on Instagram. Out of all these people I got, there's Al Williams. Oh, and I got Scott Hanna. All these guys, the only one I paid for was Mike Zeck. He bagged me for $5, which is not the end of the world, but it just goes to show, like, most guys, you could still get autographs for free. Mark, I'm drawing a blank. You guys know that signature, though. But anyway, it's so funny. I was watching Kitson drawing a picture for somebody, and I just, like, was in a fog, in a daydream, like, watching him, like, zoned out. And somebody comes up to me and whispers behind my ear, "Oh, you like that?" And it just creeped me out. I jumped. And who was it? It was Manny Mans, NYC, like a Puerto Rican ninja. He just snuck up on me, and like it was so funny. And then we hung out for a few minutes. We walked around. He showed me where Greg Land was. Greg Land, he doesn't even have his name on his table. I walked by him. I said, "Greg, pay for a billboard. Put your name up. If you don't know it's his artwork, you just walk right by." But he was wheeling and dealing. I don't think it's a problem for him. It's funny. Off topic. I got a quick story. Reminds me about the Puerto Rican ninja. So when I graduated, I grew up in Little Italy. I worked in a Italian restaurant down there for high school, college. When I graduated, World Trade went down. So I went back to work there because it was good money, and I was working like 30 hours a week, making good money. And anyway. So they knew I was still looking for a job, but it was hard. World Trade went down. They weren't hiring. So, the boss used to drive me home once in a while because I lived out in Brooklyn where he lived. And he asked me, he's like, "Hey, Jimmy, any luck with a job?" I said, "Oh, I have a really good interview lined up with this huge PR firm." And he turns and looks at me. He goes, "Jimmy, You don't want to work for Puerto Ricans. Don't even go. Believe me when I tell you. And I just died laughing in my head because this like Italian guy, he thinks a PR firm is run by Puerto Rican. It's public relations. It was just so funny. Like, I felt like I was in My Cousin Vinny or something. It was fucking hysterical. But I just nodded and smiled. He goes, yeah, you're right. Maybe I'll reconsider. Anyway, last but not least. So, I've been trying to do a deal with Anthony Snyder. It's like getting a root canal sometimes because he's very abrasive and standoffish and like... He'll text me, you know, a day, and then I'll go through. I'm like, here's what I got, here's what I want, that's it, and I won't hear back. And then 3 days later, it'll be like Groundhog's Day, like we never spoke. And he's like, what's going on? Let's do a deal. I'm like, here's what I have, here's what I want. What do you want to do? So finally, something came up he had, and I'm gonna show you what I traded for it. Believe me, even this took forever. But long story short, I'll show you what I don't have it anymore. So I traded this, my Spider-Man Sal Buscema end page with Punisher from an issue. I traded him my Silver Surfer 3, you know, first Mephisto 85 white pages. So I traded him this, first General Zod and Negative Zone 6-0, cream to off-white. Let that one slide past him. And my Beatles Yellow Submarine 7.5 posters included. This book... It says a 9.0. I don't know how they gave it that grade. But anyway, I traded him those 3 books and that page, and I got this, which I love. You know, Silver Surfer, issue 39. I got the cover. I'm going to get the paste-ups done professionally. So, as we all know, you know, Starlin did this run, but... You know, once in a while they take a day off. So this issue he took off. Jim Sherman did it. Jim Sherman's known for, he's really a DC guy. So he just popped in and did this. I think he's known for Legion, doing Legion mostly. I didn't even really like it, but I love Surfer's face, Kirby-esque, and he's blasting these monsters. These monsters are all ugly. Like, to me they look like Robert Crumb rejects. That's what that feeling is. But when I got this in person, it's like a French bulldog. They're so ugly and like weird. It's like appealing, and it's twice up, which you know, modern day art is never twice up. Usually a Silver Age is twice up. So let me show you, and then here's the actual cover, so you guys can compare. So you know, I'm gonna get all the paste ups done. Once the paste ups are done, it's going to be mint. And it's in my nostalgia wheelhouse. So while I was there, I also shook him down and got some money off him. Well, which way? I'm going this way. So I sold him this, a Buck Rogers role-playing game. Brand new, never opened. I sold him some those Marvel role-playing, like Dungeons & Dragons shit. And I sold him my Nick Hardy Superman sketch. So I walked away with some money. Overall, you know, I went to his house, and he's actually pretty pleasant when you're in his house, and he's, I guess, relaxed and disarmed, and, you know, he's a good guy all around, you know. But that's it. Jimmy C signing off. Hope all's well, and you guys had a good show, and I don't even know what the next show is. I guess it's the show out way out in Jersey at the hockey rink coming up this summer. All right, I rambled long enough. Be good, everyone. Bye.